Have you ever looked at the person you love and seen a complete stranger? That was the moment for me, sitting across from my wife, Sarah, in our sunlit Chicago kitchen. The morning light caught the dust motes dancing in the air, the same way it had 1,000 times before. But this time, something was different. I slid the small, white prescription bottle across the polished oak table. It wasn't my heart medication, not exactly. It was a placebo, filled with sugar pills, a trap I had set 3 weeks ago. Her smile, the one that used to warm me to my core, faltered. "Sarah?" I asked, my voice unnervingly calm. "Can you explain to me why Mark's fingerprints are all over my medication bottle? If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel. Tell us where you're from, and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows." The silence that followed was heavier than any argument we'd ever had. It was a thick, suffocating blanket of guilt. For months, things had been off. It started subtly. The late nights she claimed were for work, her phone screen angling away from me whenever I entered a room. The scent of a cologne that wasn't mine clinging faintly to her clothes. I'd find receipts from expensive restaurants on Rush Street. Places she swore she hadn't been, dated for nights I was home alone, eating takeout. When I'd ask, her eyes would turn cold, her voice sharp with accusation. "Are you checking up on me? After everything we've been through, you don't trust me?" She was a master manipulator, turning my concern into a weapon against me, making me feel small and paranoid. The villains always feel untouchable, don't they? They build a fortress of lies and dare you to scale its walls. My breaking point came on a rainy Tuesday night. I'd come home early from a business trip to surprise her, my heart full. I found the house empty. A quick check of her location on our shared app showed her at the Drake Hotel. My mind raced. An old friend in town? A work event she forgot to mention? I drove there, my hands slick on the steering wheel, a cold dread coiling in my stomach. I saw her car on the valet line, and then I saw her. She was walking out laughing, leaning into a man I recognized from her office mark. He was smug, confident, his hand resting possessively on the small of her back. They didn't see me parked across the street, shrouded in the downtown gloom. The image burned itself into my memory, the rain on the windshield blurring the city lights, the casual intimacy of his touch, the look of adoration on my wife's face. That was the night the man she married died. I didn't confront her. Instead, a chilling clarity settled over me. I went home, and for the first time in years, I felt nothing. The love had been surgically removed, leaving only a void. In that void, a new man was born, one who was strategic, patient, and utterly ruthless. The next morning, I contacted a private investigator and a shark of a divorce attorney. For 2 months, I played the part of the oblivious, loving husband while my team gathered everything. Financial records showing lavish gifts, hotel bills, secret credit cards. The pie got photos, videos, indisputable proof of their rendezvous across the city. From Lincoln Park to hidden bars in the West Loop, the medication bottle was the final, perfect piece of my trap. I told Sarah my doctor was worried about my heart, that I needed this new, potent medication daily. I watched her report this to Mark, saw the flicker of something dark in her eyes. I knew they were waiting, perhaps even hoping for my health to fail. The stage was set for her parents' 40th anniversary party. It was a grand affair at a lavish downtown ballroom filled with their friends, family, and influential business associates, her entire world. I stood beside her, the perfect husband, smiling and shaking hands. When her father stood to give a toast, I asked if I could say a few words. All eyes were on me. I spoke of family, of loyalty, of the vows we take. Then I looked directly at Sarah, my voice dropping but carrying across the silent room. I recounted the story of the medication, of the fingerprints, of the months of lies. I projected the PI's photos onto the large screen behind the band. Gasps echoed through the hall. Sarah's face was a mask of horror, her skin ashen. Her father's face was thunderous. Mark, who was also in attendance, tried to slip out. But my lawyer was already there, serving him with a lawsuit for alienation of affection and conspiracy to commit fraud against our shared assets. Sarah was ruined. Her family disowned her on the spot. Her social circle evaporated. The legal battle was swift and brutal. The evidence I had, she got nothing. I sold the house. I moved to a quiet corner of the city, overlooking the lake. Sometimes I see her. She works as a waitress in a small diner, the arrogance gone, replaced by a hollowed-out weariness. She never meets my eyes. The empire she built on deceit crumbled to dust, and I was the one who lit the match. I won. I destroyed her. But as I stand here now, watching the cold, gray waves of Lake Michigan crash against the shore, I'm left with only one question. What do you do with the ashes of a life you burned to the ground?